silver is one of the best assets out there because it's a useful metal. Unlike gold, that's really only used for investment, holding value. But it's because of that, it's easily manipulated and easily controlled by governments.
Golden Arrow Resources is targeting discoveries in a project portfolio of over 244,000 hectares, including epithermal gold in Argentina, high-grade copper in established mining districts in Chile, and a district-scale orogenic gold opportunity in Paraguay.
Welcome to Inside the Markets, a StockPulse.com broadcast here. And I've got with me now Richard Malik, and he founded the SilverToken. Two things I've got here, Richard, that I like, silver and tokens. So I see you got Ethereum blockchain back, and this has had a lot of interest to me. So digital silver, tell me all about it. How'd you get started here?
So I've been a stacker for all my life. Interesting thing is my father actually worked at the Philadelphia Mint during the Kennedy administration, minting silver coins. And that being said, he taught us what real money was. Your money needs to represent something. And growing up, I always kept it in mind. When you purchase something, what does it actually represent? And then you hear all wealthy people always hold assets. Well, silver is one of the best assets out there because it's a useful metal. Unlike gold, it's really only used for investment, holding value. But it's because of that, it's easily manipulated and easily controlled by governments, like they did in the 30s, where they outlawed the holding gold as an asset. It's very difficult to do with silver because silver has so many different uses. Everything from a mirror to electronics to medical. Silver is such a needed commodity. I believe it's a strategic commodity at this point, just like oil is. So what happened was we collected so much silver that we started worrying about when we left our house. Okay, because what happens? If somebody breaks in, you can't prove you had it. It's hard to get it insured. You don't want anybody to know that you really have silver. So the other issue with owning silver, the physical metal in your possession, is when you go to sell it. When you need to buy something, you want to buy a car or a truck or buy a piece of real estate with it. How do you liquidate it? How difficult is it to liquidate it? Well, when you have 100 pounds of silver, you can't go sell it to the corner coin shop. And it was an issue because they didn't want it. What are they going to do with it? So we needed a place to find liquidity and a place to store it. So we started looking for private vaults, and the best private vaults are not in this country and not in the United States, but they're in the Cayman Islands. They're Singapore. You have Switzerland. These countries where they where you have privacy, true privacy. We have 4 vaults, private vaults in the United States, and it's great because you can go get your silver if you want it. But the majority of our silver is not held in the United States because of that reason. So, we created. We needed liquidity. We needed security from a private vault. So we put our silver in a vault, and then the blockchain came along. In 2013, the blockchain came along. Ethereum came along. We played around with it for a couple of years. It's like, what, we should just do this. And then we just started thinking. My son and I are actually involved in this pretty pretty steadily. But what would be the best currency? And then you hear someone like Ron Paul, who's been an advocate for sound money for all his lifetime, and he didn't have the means to do it because blockchain wasn't around. So now blockchain comes around, and here we have a cryptographic receipt, a digital cryptographic receipt that nobody can dispute, decentralized with 30,000 computers around the world. So then the only thing we needed were more vaults. So we got, right now we have 12 vaults around the world. And depending on where you're located is where you can redeem your silver. You want to go get it or hold it or whatever you want to do with it. And so then we just created this whole system where it's smart contracts, and the smart contracts do all the work. They we have a smart contract that when you send Ethereum to it, it actually does the current calculation of Ethereum, the current calculation of silver, and sends you back the exact amount of silver tokens, which are your digital receipt for the purchase of silver. And then when you want to go to sell your silver tokens, you just send it to another smart contract. And then that smart contract just does the calculation in reverse. It takes the current price of silver and it redeems for what's called USDC, which is a stable currency that Coinbase has. So the system is real simple. You don't need to have an account with us. Anybody could send Ethereum to the smart contract 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, any place in the world. And we maintain the silver. We're ultimately we're the custodians for the silver. And it's pretty exciting to see. Actually, it's exciting to see on one hand, but it's really concerning on the other hand, because, for instance, there was this situation that's going on in Ukraine. Well, when it first happened, the amount of traffic we got from Ukraine and the surrounding countries was really a little concerning, because you could tell people really needed to get their money out of the country, and they were just searching for a way to do that. For many of them, it was too late. But it's one thing about SilverToken is that you don't need to have the physical to have ownership, and you could keep your asset there. And it's we've had people that have bought silver tokens 5 years ago, and they're still in their wallet. We can see they're still in their wallet, and they're just if they need it, it's there. And they can
walk us through a transaction here, Richard, for how the normal person gets involved who just found out about you. How do they do this?
So if you just go to SilverToken.com, there's a page called Getting Started or How to Purchase, and you just go on the page. You just get a digital wallet, and as long as you have Ethereum in that wallet, if you don't have Ethereum, you can buy Ethereum with a credit card or through another means. And then you on that page, there's a wallet address or a smart contract address you just send Ethereum to, and it automatically sends it back. That's a beautiful thing about the smart contracts. They're programs that were made to do a specific thing, and they just keep doing it. Yeah. So it's that simple. And then, like I said earlier, if someone wants to redeem their tokens for silver, there's a form they fill out, and they just put which vault they want to go to and schedule a time. They have to send us their silver tokens, and then they go pick up their silver, or we could deliver the silver too. So, yeah.
So yeah, let's talk about that part of it. Delivering the silver. I know obviously you can make calls to several groups to buy your bullion, and it can be delivered. But let's talk about how you deliver yours.
It's real easy. You can, if you have silver and you want to, what we call tokenize it. In other words, send it to one of our vaults or drop it off at one of our vaults. It'll be weighed, assayed, and then the appropriate amount of silver tokens will be sent to your digital wallet. If you want to redeem your silver tokens for silver, right now it was 100 ounces, but we increase it to 200 ounces because the vaults just don't want to be bothered. A couple of our vaults are COMEX vaults, and they just look, you got to do at least 200 ounces. So you just fill out a form, which vault you want to get it from, and then you can go pick it up. Or if you want it delivered, just put on the form your information, and then it's a little bit more than 200 ounces because we have to pay for shipping and insurance to you. Yeah, which is interesting because like in Europe, we can't ship to Europe anymore because let's say like the UK, it just, we can't get insurance. We can ship it there, but we can't get insurance to cover it. If you want to get on a plane and go to one of the vaults and hold it, and it's your silver, but if you want to take it back to your residence, it's an issue. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Let's silver token, not gold token. Is there an element of gold in this as well?
No, there isn't. It's just strictly silver. Yeah, like I mentioned earlier, we believe silver token is a much more valuable asset than gold because it has so many uses. Just like oil has so many uses, sure. Silver has over 3,000 uses. So.
Yeah, let's means we're going down that road. Let's talk about that. You've got a gold silver ratio close to 80-1, down from 130. You can argue it. I've seen Keith Neumeyer from First Majestic, argue it down to certainly 4-7-4-1, something like that. Possibly, maybe even I've heard arguments such as level playing field. So I get the argument from your perspective, though. Yeah, give me a little more. Obviously, the EV revolution. So I see you working here. All roads are kind of pointing to that metal.
Right. So what has happened in the last 30, 40 years is that electronics have become mainstream, and everything with electronics has silver in it. We have everything. And we saw Elon Musk with open up this gigafactory. The cars, the robots he's going to be manufacturing there all have silver in them, and there's no way around it. There's no metal that can replace silver. It's just not available. And the interesting thing about silver is that it's a consumable metal. In other words, gold, most of the gold that has ever been mined has been just melted down and reshaped into a different form, whether it's bars, coins, jewelry, candlesticks, what have you. Whereas silver, once it goes into a circuit board or on a mirror or some other device, it's not reclaimed. And part of the problem with this is that the manipulators have kept the price of silver down so much that it's used almost like a common metal, like copper is. So if the price was $2 or $3 or $4 or $500 an ounce, then they'd find out a way to use more copper. But since it's not, it's just getting consumed. And once it's consumed, it's gone forever. So, there's only so much silver to be had. And here's the other thing is that, this doesn't get spoken about often, but during a crisis, people always run to commodities, and silver is one of the largest commodities out there. And the price is going to go up, not necessarily for supply and demand, but because of capital flows. People's capital are going to flow just to that commodity, just as a safe haven. Not that they want to consume it, not that there's a supply and demand for it, but they need to put their wealth in a secure asset. And SilverToken has a place for that. Yeah, we're really excited from that standpoint.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like you built this business the way it should be built, from something you wanted to build for yourself, and then now you're passing that on to everyone else. So no, right. I think you check all the boxes here, Richard. I mean, I'm a fan of the silver. I'm a fan of the digital aspect of it, and boy, you sure make it easier, I should say, to go actually physically get it if you want. So I could question you, I guess, about the security of the 12 vaults, but I'm assuming that we're in good shape there.
They're the ones in the United States are COMEX vaults. All the silvers assayed or audited once a year by the Lloyd's of London. Our vault masters audit it once a month. We were constantly just like, where'd that go? How much we have there? So on and so forth. So we stay on top of it. When we looked at doing this, we built it for ourselves. And Rob, this is the first interview I'm really doing because we built the program for us, and if anybody could see it, that's great for them. But we're not marketers. We're not a cryptocurrency company that's out to make a whole bunch of money. We're just looking for liquidity, a safe place to hold our silver, and really, when we initially built this, it's like, well, how can we make this awesome? How can we do it, make the ideal money? Well, guess what? Bitcoin doesn't represent anything. It can go up and down. It could lose 50% of its value in a week or 2 weeks. Money needs to represent something. Okay. So if we make silver ownership so easy to transfer, it could be used as money. So, we started thinking about this. You know what? Let's make it as easy as possible. Put it in as many wallets digital wallets as possible. So that's why we went to Ethereum. Ethereum is the most common smart contract platform that can be used. We also have a silver dollar. I don't know if you noticed that we've taken that back. It's taken a back seat on the website because the transaction fees with Ethereum are so high. But we're actually rebuilding that token. So what silver dollar is $1 worth of silver. So it's easy to relate it to real world items. So if you have if silver's $30 an ounce. Well, you need 30 silver dollars to buy 1 ounce of silver, or to exchange it. It's always redeemable for 1 ounce of silver, and it's all smart contracts that does this. But we took it down for the last 2 or 3 months because of the Ethereum costs. It's still, people can still use it, but it gets real expensive with Ethereum, and we're rebuilding that smart contract on a different platform. So it'll be fractions of a penny to use it. So we're really excited about that.
Yeah, you mentioned you built this for yourself. You're not really marketing this. You don't really maybe want it to become anything massive. I don't know. But I mean, if it does, are you prepared for growth? I mean, can we add vaults on the fly here? I know silver is becoming a lot harder to come by too. So yeah, right. maybe we get into that. What's your feeling on the supply chain here? Are we going to hold up? I mean, in my world, I deal with the supply chain, the junior miners, the guys who are exploring it or trying to take this into production and give you that precious silver that you want to store. So to talk about your thoughts there.
So we thought of that, and we have a smart contract that actually, when you send Ethereum to it, it sends you the silver tokens back. But that's our minting contract. In other words, that creates new silver tokens. And the reason that's so important is that there's an off button for it. So if we don't have the silver to sell, we just turn that contract off. Okay. Once you get the silver tokens back, that contract can't be turned off. It's just a live contract on 30,000 computers. Okay. So, it is a concern. Even when there's a big price fluctuation. We've turned that off in the past because, we don't know what the future holds. There's been weekends where, during the pandemic where we actually turned the contract off because that's a minting contract. So because we didn't want to sell silver over the weekend, not knowing what the price was going to open up, on Monday. So it is a concern if we're going to be able to, keep the supply of silver, to our customers. But currently we haven't had that issue. And we're very cost effective too. I know some of the the companies like that just you could just buy silver from are $10 over spot price. We're like $4.50 to $5 over spot price, and that includes free storage and insurance. So we with the smart contracts, it keeps the overhead down quite a bit.
Oh, well, maybe some one-stop shopping here at SilverToken here, then, huh?
Yeah. It's a simple process. It's just like, it's really interesting. We a lot of people come to our site. It's like, why hasn't anybody thought of this before? And it's been 5 years, that we've been in business doing this. So it's been
I know people who have, but they didn't put it together like you did. So kudos to you for doing that, Richard.
Yeah. Like I said, we thought about the ultimate form of money. What it need to represent. Yep. How do we make it liquid? How do we make it available? And we have people literally all around the world that have silver tokens. It's unbelievable. It's really exciting to see, young guys in Africa using silver tokens as a form of money. It's really encouraging to see, that they're using it because it represents something. It can't be controlled by the locals there. So, yeah, I'm excited about it.
Could be your way out of the system. So they were Richard Malik, founder of SilverToken. I really appreciate your time, and I look forward to seeing how this thing takes off. And SilverToken.com. Richard, appreciate your time.
Thanks, Rob. Have a great day.